Hello. I'm so overwhelmed overwhelmed with pride that I'm able to, not find the right words. It's amazing to see Kanish grow from an infant stage to this stage and to a very, very handsome young man. And wait, there is a little more. And so, as I saw him grow, it was so amazing to see, and all the flashes of his infanthood, childhood, adulthood, teenage, come as flashes to my mind. And to give you some of the snippets, you know, infanthood, as soon as he will wake up, it is impossible to find a child whose naughtiness level, the activity level, went from zero to an unthinkable, unmanageable levels. Absolutely. The only way to manage him was to hold him tight, and during those days we could do that. I could do that. Uh, Hold him tight, and if you hold him tight, and that still goes true, just for 10 to 15 seconds, he would fall asleep. And it is, that that continued for such a long time. It is uh, so his childhood, as he grew, his elder brother used to have, by the time he came into this world, there were so many toys his elder brother had collected, his toys, and as he grew, those toys started getting broken. And I used to, with a lot of love, scold his elder brother that, why are you breaking, play properly, etc. So his elder brother will stand when I come back from the office, and he'll line up all the toys which Kanishk has broken for the day and look at me with a naughty smile that now punish him. You used to tell me a lot of things, and now what? So we decided that we'll, with a lot of love, punish him. So his punishment was, I would, number of toys he has broken, I would throw him in the air and then catch him. And to our, absolute, what should I say? Uh, it's impossible to find a child, whatever you do to him, he will find how to enjoy that. It became so much enjoyable to him that more and more toys started getting broken. In fact, not only just toys, as he grew up to his height, anything which was, accessible in the house got broken. All the walls got dirty to a stage where, everywhere Kanishk was there, whether it is drawing or, walls have got dirty, etc., etc. It's so, it's so, it was so impossible to manage. And again, during those days also, uh, when he was about 6, 7 years, we could hold him. And if you hold him for more than 10 to 15 to 30 seconds, he would fall asleep. And that was the way to, stop damages in the house. He would, he saw me, opening up few things for repairs. So he said, if you can open up things, I was trying to learn and open up things. Whatever was accessible up to a height, it was broken. It is impossible, and I'm sure this is a Guinness book world record. It is impossible to find a child who has uh, torn, broken, so many school uniform shoes, because whatever he'll see him on the floor was a football for him. And almost every week we started buying shoes. And then, initially I was trying to repair a few things. It's impossible. A repaired shoe cannot be used as a football. So, that was his childhood. Teenage, simply unmanageable, terrible, and so, and then by the time he was in his teenage, he was entering his teenage, the elder one was already in the teenage. And my, and both of them, to our, uh, uh, it just created a big problem for us, because both of them became such a good friends. And they would do all kinds of things, including the one which I got to know today, which is, you know what? I used to, whenever I used to go abroad as part of my G Capital and other professional working time life. I would go abroad, so I would buy some alcohol, vodka, and other things, especially vodka. I thought something is wrong. Either the levels have come down, or it's got diluted. And I never used to believe. So sometime I'll ask my wife, uh, did your friends visit and you guys had a little fun party? And she said, what? She got very offended. And I just came to know today what these guys did was, they will take out vodka from that bottle, he and his friends, and fill it up with equal amount of water, so that the levels come back again. So such a unmanageable, but every phase of life, it's so amazing to see a child who gave us absolute joy. Teenage was a perfect teenage, the way it is, the way you read in books. Childhood, how a child grows and how you manage a child. Actually, we couldn't manage him. He managed himself. He was the boss of the house. If there is, a, winters are very severe, or summers are very severe, he would just come and get angry with us, saying, what are you doing with the weather? Correct it now, because I'm feeling uncomfortable. And he used to demand it as a right. And so, you know what, we just somehow caught hold of him so that he could sleep as fast as possible. So that's how it is. And now, as he embarks into uh, the new and delightful phase of the life, with our daughter Purva. Dear daughter Purva, uh, we are very sure that this marriage is God, she is God sent. This marriage will be so successful that we'll watch him, spend his married life also as an absolute joy. Whatever thus far it has been, it's been absolute joy seeing this person, unmanageable, naughty person, who used to every day have so many toys broken, so many complaints from the school. We never thought he will do academically anything at all, because he did not study. And when we forced him to study, all he would do is, his mother will start teaching him, and he would, just listen to, just see the wall, so that, his mother, through her voice, will teach him everything. And he used to always score very, very high marks, right till the Georgia Tech days. It was a surprise. How did he score marks? How did he so well do so well? But that's how his life has been. He has been amazing us, delighting us, and God bless him. All our blessings and love are there with Kanishk and Purva for a very scintillating, love filled, and successful, and happy married life. God bless you, children.
One of the things that I wanted to start with is when my mom first told me that she was expecting another baby, I was very sad about it. And I remember this one time distinctly where I stuck my face to the window and I was looking out the window. And my mom had just told me a few seconds ago that I was going to have a sister, I was going to have a sibling. And she asked me why I was sad. And I told her that I won't be loved anymore. And I was really, as a 1.5-year old, I don't know how, but I distinctly remember my emotions, and I was really affected, uh, to say the least. And I remember when Purva was born, she was pretty useless. Like, she would just lie in her crib and she was just like this blob of fat. And she wouldn't like play with me or anything. And it was interesting. Uh, but somehow I started like loving this blob of fat that did not do anything and would just sit and stare at me, and would also just okay, I'll give them a moment. I will, Kanishk. I was only waiting for your permission. I was always the mischievous one, just like Kanishk. And uh, the complaint that my teachers would often have with me and would tell my mom was about how talkative I was. But I would also engage in a lot of mischief. But somehow this blob of fat was like the calm to my storm, like throughout my life. And I remember over time, I got used to loving her. I got used to being protective about her. When I think I was 6, and she must have been 4, or maybe 5 and 3, I don't remember. But I slapped a girl for 25 minutes continuously, uh, who was her age, because I saw her push her under the bus. Uh, well, the bus was stationary, but I slapped her all the way from the school to until the time we reached our house. She wasn't expecting for me to be there, but I was. And that's how protective I've always been about Purva. And I will do that still. Kano, this is a very veiled but not so veiled warning. Uh, as we grew up, we would fight a lot. I remember me holding a clothes drying stick and Purva holding a shoe and telling each other, let's see who gets each other first. But it has always been, I don't think I've had any friend closer than Purva ever. Like, I would tell her about things that I wanted to do. I would tell her about things that I couldn't do. I would tell her about my deepest fears, like deepest secrets, everything. And she would blackmail me in return, by the way. She would tell me that well, she would listen to it and she'd be very empathetic. But eventually she would tell me that, oh, if you don't do this, if you don't give me this, I will tell your parents. Like, I will tell our parents about this. But I still loved her. I still do. Unfortunately. Um there have also been times where she's done so. As children, Purva was not organized at all, at all. And I was hyper organized. I still am. She would take my jewelry to her school, uh, my Bharatnatyam jewelry. I've trained in Bharatnatyam when I was a child. And she would come back losing it all. And it was not, I used to be really angry. And she wouldn't tell me about it. She would just like sneak the bag under the desk or wherever I kept it. And when I asked her, did you use it? She would say, I don't know what happened to it. She would use a lot of my art supplies that I would store very nicely, and she would ruin them all. And I would be like, I didn't leave them like this. And she'd say, I don't know what happened to it. But somehow over the years, I think it was one of the biggest support systems that I had, possibly the biggest support system that I had. And yeah, Kano, that's why I did not approve for so long. But I can tell you today that I officially do approve, or I did tell you earlier as well. No, I did tell him earlier as well. I think when you come from when you see your parents have a marriage that's very beautiful, that's based on friendship, one would think that it's easier to go into relationships when you come from a difficult, hard relationship, and then you see, you get that love that you've always probably wanted but never had, and then it's easier to transition into that. But it's harder when you see a marriage that's based on friendship, that's based so much on equality. And then you kind of have not just the same expectations, but higher. And to not just fall in love with someone, but also to just like approve of someone mentally, I think is more difficult. And I know that Purva's filters have always been stronger than my filters. But my filters are really strong as well. And so Purva's filters are like up there. So when she told me that she met Kanishk, and they met through a dating app on which I've had no success, by the way. But when she told me that they met on a dating app, I was skeptical. And I was very judgmental because I happened to stalk him, and I was like, this does not look like somebody. But then I heard like really good reviews. So I was I was open to it, let's just say that. But after having met Kanishka, after coming here, and after seeing how they've dealt with a lot of the things, the planning of the wedding, buying of the house, which is, and I think everybody would agree with me, which at their age is brilliant. The coming of a partnership, the coming together of a partnership, and launching into something like that, managing something like that, without even the slightest bit of animosity, without even the slightest bit of passive aggressiveness. And I'm a psychologist, so I know. Even when I'm drunk, I know what I'm talking about. So, it was beautiful to see that. It was beautiful to see how they've dealt with some of the storms that came their way, how they communicate with each other. And I can be a little technical and a little geeky about these things, right? So I do pick up on these things, and to see how they communicated with each other, how open the communication was, how empathetic they were to each other. I think I was reassured that, okay, like, yeah, that I can approve of Kanishk. Uh, yeah, but I think I'm warming up to you, so it's fine. So yeah, I just want to say welcome to the family, Kanishk, and I love you both. And I know I say for all of us when I say that. Okay, thank you guys.
Next, yeah, that would be Kanish's mom, please.
And thank you so much for coming here and blessing them. I may get a bit emotional, so please bear with me. So, let me start by telling you an anecdote about the song which today they did a dance on, Chura Ke Dil Goriya Chali. So this, Kanish was 6 years old when this song came, and one day he was sitting before the television and watching this song, and it's Shilpa Shetty, if you remember. And and he was watching very keenly, and I said, "क्या देख रहे हो?" He said, "मुझे लड़कियां ऐसे कपड़ों में बहुत अच्छी लगती है." So he said that I like girls when they wear such clothes. And it was a very short skirt and all that kind of thing. Anyway, so let me tell you that he was born on 17 June, and that's a high summer time in India. And it was a dry spell, but suddenly on that day, when I went to the hospital, within half an hour, it started raining, pouring, there was thunderstorm, there was no electricity, the doctor could not reach the hospital. It was a major chaos. And then my little prince came. So I have written something about that. I want to read it out. The thundering and lightning sounds turned the day into night. Then arrived our little Kanu to make all our lives bright. Mischievous, cute, and naughty, he stole our hearts with his twinkling eyes. He behaved like a prince and ruled all over us without batting his eyelids twice, the way his father told you. Enthusiastic and curious, he tackled all his tasks with ease. It was amazing to see him achieve all his goals without losing his peace. As our little boy grew into a young man, he made us proud with his panache and elan. Then came a girl with a sunshine smile, who stole his heart, and we knew it was his marriage time. Seeing them together fills our heart with pride, and we all agree that Purva is his perfect bride. As our family grows and we get a daughter for whom we have always were longing, we have no words to express our happiness for this lifetime bonding.
In fact, this name Kanishk, it started with a short form first, which is Kana. Kana is Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna was born in exactly the same, you know, there was darkness all around, thunder, storm, rain started unexpectedly, and the child was born. So this is how it started with a short form, and it grew into okay. Now what we do? Okay, Kanishk. That's how his name was born.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. So now I would call upon brother of the group, if you want to say.
No. The brother has to say something, and I would like your undivided attention for the next 30 to 40 minutes. I'm kidding. Maybe I'm here. Acha, I'll come over there. So I met Purva in late 2021 for the first time. I'm actually the first person in the groom's family to meet Purva. At the time, Kanu and Purva were still dating. Of course, he hadn't proposed yet because, being the younger brother, he knows he's not even allowed to lift a finger without my approval. Don't let his behavior in public towards me fool you. He obeys me and honors me and respects me. So, at our first dinner together, the three of us back in December of 2021, despite meeting her for the first time, I felt like I was having dinner with my brother and sister. And uh, and it became clear as day to me that these two are going to eventually end up together. And guess what? In like a month or so, they were engaged. And so to Kanu and Purva, I look forward to a lifetime of the two of you laughing and rolling your eyes at all my stupid jokes. To Kanu and Purva. He got a gift, but it's not for me. The gift for him is me attending. Yeah. Hey, I got this. Take the bundle.
I think him pointing at someone.
Because I didn't dance, this is your way to get back at me, huh? But since I never say no to you, I said yes over the phone. And before I start, Rishi, to piggyback on your story in December, right? Everybody want to hear what happened that day? Okay. In December, went to spend New Year's in Miami. And Kanesh strictly told me, hey, I'll be proposing this weekend. So to tag along to that, we've been rooting for you guys since day one. So we planned this trip to Miami. We were in the midst of planning our own wedding. So we're like, you know what? Let's go. It's gonna be a good night for them. We're gonna have a New Year's. He's gonna propose, etc. It was gonna be perfect. So December 31st, 11:59 p.m., we went over people's VIP tables to get the best spot and everything with fireworks in the background. And they were trying to fight me, and I was like, no, he's gonna propose, he's my brother, etc. And 12:01 hits, there's no Neo. 12:05 hits, there's no Neo. Then, we're like, okay, are you gonna propose? And he's like, well, I don't have a ring. So he didn't propose. After over three VIPs, the people pay a ton of money. And we're in the background calming everybody down, and everybody's waiting and waiting and waiting. We didn't get a proposal. But a trip to New York, I believe, finally that happened. Still hurts, just saying. But I want to say this. Thank you for your friendship. Especially Purva, I met you through Ganesh, and he invited me to his house one night and gave me the worst chai tea I ever had in my life. Years later, after meeting Purva, he invited us for sushi, and I had the best sushi homemade I ever had. That says that sometimes people come into your life to get the better of you and make you be better to yourself and others. I have witnessed that from day one, when it was a rough patch, till today. And there's nothing else I can say that I love you both. That comes from me and my wife, Jennifer. I wish you guys the best. I have never said no to you, and I don't think I will ever start saying no to you, especially as well for you, Purva. Because through you, we actually got to know Ganesh.
Oh, sorry. Any family left? Mami? Yeah?
Delhi. So I had seen the antics of both the boys growing up, and I was fortunate for that. And also now this can be embarrassing for Kanu here, but but I guess this works. But I guess I have to tell you this one story. You can hear us? Now, you can hear me. I can tell you this story over and over again. I want everybody else to hear this, which is the more important part of this deal. So, it's the time when I got married. Shafali, my beautiful wife, is here today. So after the marriage, we went to our hometown in West Bengal near Calcutta, and we had a marriage reception. Because the wedding was somewhere else, and so my dad said, "Oh, I got to throw a party for my friends as well, who could not attend the wedding." So there we were, and obviously my sister, along with her boys. I don't think Jiaji was around at that point in time, in the sense he was still in Delhi. But we all landed up, so we used to party all through the day, and at night we used to retire, me and my wife. And the third day, Kanu gets up and comes to me. "This is not fair. Every day, Mama," and that is me, and Mommy, just go away. I never get to sleep next to Mommy. Now look at it. Look, that is priceless, and that will always will be priceless for me. and my parents and I, we all laughed our heads off. So I guess that can't be any more embarrassing than that, Kanu. I think I've. And I say from the bottom of my heart, I'm glad I could make it to the wedding. There was a time where there was chances I was not going to, but I think in the grand scheme of things, things do fit together. And here we are, Shafali and myself, and this is indeed um, a great occasion. But more so, can I say a few things, Kanu, about your friends? Your friends define you as well, and I think it is an absolute pleasure, all of you, to have contributed to this special occasion, and a big hand. And a big hand to you all. Friendships matters. You don't choose your relatives, you choose your friends. So you have made a very good choice, both of you. So clearly, everyone give a pat yourselves. This has been a brilliant wedding. It's been an excellent celebration. And from the bottom of my heart, God bless you both. And I have a good time. And I'm sure you'll succeed in all what you do. And you have got a great support system over here. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
So the floor is again.
I promise Purva that I won't cry. I won't cry. I don't know what to say, not because I don't know what to say, because I have so much to say. As Mamaji said, we are all here. That speaks about you too. So they both, my name is Rakhi. I'm friends with Purva. We went to the same university and I've known her for like 7-8 years now. I've seen her come here as an international student, as most of us did. Everything that she has today, she made it. She's earned everything that she has today. She deserves so much, everything, everyone in this room, so much more, so much more. She's only blessed and so lucky to have Kanishk. I've met Kanishk through Purva. It takes a great, great, great man to have a lady, handle a lady like that. Let her shine. The confident goddess that she is, let her be that. A man like Kanishk can do it. You are perfect for my friend. We are so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. The last thing I want to say is that individually, they are the most kindest people I've ever met. They're the most beautiful souls I've ever seen. And that's what makes them perfect together. I wish you such a happy life, only full of laughter and happiness. Stay blessed.
Hi, Kanish. So I'm Ted. I'm a college buddy of Kanish's. I'll just tell a bit of a story for both sides. It's not the embarrassing parts will come from someone else. So when we moved into Georgia Tech, he was actually one of my first friends. My roommate didn't really pay attention to me, but he was the guy that moved in across in the dorm. And yeah, it's very easy to assume that people from Georgia Tech are all just nerds, but I think it's very common to assume that. Uh, but I think what kind of bound us all together was a willingness to devote a lot of energy and time into something silly, whatever it is, as long as you feel like you want to do it, right? I think that's what people might call nerdy, but I think it's also just the willingness to pursue something, regardless of what other people say. And I think that devotion is carried into your relationship with Purva. I think it's very beautiful. Yes, so that's Kanishk over there. We all know him, so it's fine. Let me talk about Purva. So in the summer of I think 2021, we went on a 6 or 5 day hike in Yosemite, and we were all dirty and smelly and sweaty. It was, no clouds on that day. By the third day, we were all extremely disgusting, and we arrived at a lake. And the first thing that these two did was just strip down and just run into the water. And Purva was just hitting poses for like Instagram, and I was there shooting the pictures for her, and she was going all out. And Kanishk was just like, "Oh, is it done? Like this?" And I was like, "Wow, this is a girl who can just stick through it and just, show him up and be stronger than him." She's not tall. Like I'm the shortest of my friends group. So, and I was like, "Oh, there's someone that's shorter than me, and she's carrying her weight, like with a pack, like 30 pounds, 40 pounds. I'm like, okay, this is probably a strong girl, right? So I'm very glad to be a friend of yours, to see this love grow. I was obviously surprised when you guys proposed, but I kind of knew it was coming. So best of luck to you. I think love is forever, and you guys are probably a very good example of that. Thank you. Anybody else?
Hopefully, I don't. So I met Purva actually the very first day of 11th grade. Um, and for me, she was a person who was so full of life. Like, I had not met a person who was, this outgoing before this. And I am very introverted. So for me to see that was like a different side altogether. Um, Over the years, in fact, when I speak for myself, Teju, and Ritika, our group is called TBD. I won't take the full name, but we've seen different phases, going through CA, going through a different phase of CA that we wish to forget. And when Purva moved to the US, I think a part of all of us felt, that a part of us went away from home. And then, as luck would have it, I came here. And I remember the first time Purva told me about Kanishk was on a phone call. And I was at the airport, and I was traveling to India. And she told me, "Oh, I went out with a guy. I met him on a dating app. We met at Alon's, and it was a nice date, and I'm excited. Let's see." Okay, by the time I reach India, I'm a little busy there. A few days later, she's like, "Oh, it's going well. We've been out on a few dates." And then again, a few days later, she's like, oh, he's been very nice. And, so it kept progressing. But the one thing she did tell me was, the one thing I remember very clearly, she's like, so I was behaving very sophisticated in front of him. But then there was this party where I went all out and showed him my desi side, and he was still okay with it. So that's something I remember. And I think I met Kanishk in person for the first time at a Diwali party in 2020. In 2020. And at that time, I think Kanishk was still, trying to get familiar with everyone. But over the years, the more we've met, he has been very welcoming. Even though we are Purva's friends, he's always been welcoming. And now, of course, you're our friend too. And side note, but like I said, Purva is a very, very full of life person. But I saw when Kanishk came into her life that light increased more. And I think they bring that shine out in each other. And I think all of us here is a testament to that. You guys are really, 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 really amazing. Thank you. You've brought all of us here. Thank you. And this has been a fabulous, fabulous celebration. And thank you for having us here. Thank you.
Anyone else? Who's pointing at who? Look, y'all gotta be willing. She's pointing at you right now, just so you know, Sunaina. Okay, peer pressure.
Okay, I'm gonna go there. Since I didn't dance, and I know everyone wants to dance, I'm gonna make this very short. So Purva and I met in 2012, I think. 2012, 2013. The first time, I actually met Purva before I met her. So Purva was really famous in our articleship firm. We did CA together. And I asked everyone, who is this Purva? People keep talking about her. They're like, Arey, Purva aayegi to we'll do this. Purva will come and we'll do this. I'm like, who is this Purva? And they were like, Purva is this person who climbs mountains. I'm like, okay, she climbs mountains, so where is she right now? And they were like, oh, she's on Himachal, she's on a mountain. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I thought Purva will be this like serious person who climbs mountains, goes on treks. Cut to, this person comes. On the first day, and we are talking some random crap, and she's telling me something about some local train and something she saw. And I'm like, okay, this girl is really fun. Over time, I think we started, I used to be like a really shy person, and over time, Purva is like this type of person who will bring the shy out of anyone and just make them like her. We have been through some crazy phases together. We used to travel by train together. We have been through these crazy ups and downs during our CA together. Purva has this amazing innate quality. She can be really, really fun and really crazy, but she's also one of the most hardworking, sincere, smart people I've seen. She was like one of, I think when we were working together, she was one of the smartest interns out there. And she was like this intern who had got a chance to go to the US. And we were like, oh my God, who is this person? Where is she going? And I think that one fine day, randomly, she was like, I'm going to go to the US. And we were like, wait, what happened? And as Jarna said, when she left, all of us started feeling this big void, and we were like, oh my God, a big part of our articleship group has left. And I think that's what she means to the rest of us. I think I was just very, very happy that she found Kanishk, because she told us one day in 2019 that I met this guy, and we were like, oh, what are his hobbies? And she's like, he likes to climb mountains. And I was like, think he's a good match. She showed us some picture of him on a hike like this, and I was like, yeah, this is probably Purva's type. But I'm just very, very happy for both of you. This is the first time I'm meeting you, Kanishk. Purva, very, very bad. No, this is okay. Second time in the wedding, but very bad. We haven't met. Morning, okay. No, but I'm just very, very happy for you, Purva. Thank you for making all of us a part of your life in whatever big, small, whatever else has happened. And yeah, I wish you both all the best and lots of love.
Anyone else?
Thank you. It's not going to be that long. My name's Ankit. I feel pretty fortunate to say that Kanish was one of my closest friends growing up. We were in middle school, high school together. We also lived like 5 minutes from each other, so we were always at each other's place. We bonded over all the wrong things, I think. In middle school, it was probably skipping classes and annoying teachers. In high school, turned into skipping school. I can confirm Uncle's suspicions of diluted alcohol. It was, I think me and all of our friends knew exactly where Uncle hid the expensive bottles of alcohol, which was like underneath the bed in the master bedroom. So it wasn't easy to find, but we got there. Yeah, another thing I can confirm, which Uncle said was, despite being such a nuisance in school, he would always do like surprisingly well in tests, and everyone would always be like, yo, how did you do so well? Fun fact, I also said that when he first introduced me to Purva. But yeah, Purva, you're such an amazing person, super warm, and it's been so awesome hanging out with you. We took like one trip together, and like literally the first time we hung out, I was like, I feel like I've known her forever. She's so cool. And I'm so happy for you guys. Congratulations, and wish you the best. That was my seat first.
Who's next? Anyone? Purva? Whew. How many people does it take to pull off an Indian wedding? That is the right answer, because every one of you have helped so much. It's really been amazing experience just going through the last couple of weeks and months with y'all pitching in so much, being part of y'all's life and vice versa. Because when Purav and I were discussing marriage, we really wanted like a small little elopement, not a big thing. However, some of you selfishly wanted to fulfill your big fat Indian wedding fantasies through us. Yeah, you know who you are. So here we are, and thank you. Because just seeing all of this come together has been just an amazing experience, and just seeing the support group we have here, the friend group we have here. I put in the script that this is where I'll shed one single tear. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. You'll have to zoom in on a little bit. And just seeing you all help so much. Initially in my head I was gonna like thank every single one of you, but then like just over the past couple of days, every single one of you have really pulled through for us and just treated this wedding like almost your wedding or your event, like you have some personal stake in it. And my parents have seen it as well, and my family, both our families, have been just so impressed by all of y'all. So I just want to have everyone just give a round of applause for you guys, because holy crap, you've been amazing, every single one of you. Whenever I asked something, it was done. No follow-up, it was just done. I loved it, and these are the kind of people I want around me. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, I think that ends my speech. Am I missing something? Oh, Purva. I think I can say a few things about you. So the only reason she agreed to go out on a date with me was because the location was convenient. The bakery was like 5 minutes away from her. Like God knows what would have happened if it was like 6 minutes or 7 minutes. She would have said no. Am I allowed to say inappropriate things? Okay. So the first time I met her, I thought she was like a cold corporate bitch. And I was smitten like that. And I was like, okay, I know I'm gonna ask her on a second date, no question about it. Second date, perfect movie date. I deleted my dating app right then and there. Like after the date, the night off. Because I knew, just at that point, I mean, marriage was different, but I knew I was gonna ask her to be my girlfriend. Like, that was a given. And then after all these years, 3.5 years we've spent together, each moment has just been amazing, full of so many amazing milestones. Ever since I met you, each year of my life has been just the best year of my life. So now I'm just wondering, how good does it get? It keeps on getting better and better and better. So when people say marriage is a partnership, I really do agree, because we are so aligned on like the big things, like 90% of the things. You can use my napkin over there, the golden napkin, to cry if you want. We're so aligned on the majority of the big things. We obviously fight over the small things, but I feel just those differences and those similarities are what make our partnership so perfect. So Purva, I love you. I'm so thankful I met you, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life to appreciate you. And thank you everyone who gave the toast. Those were all amazing.
I did not prepare this because Kanishk has been telling me that he's just going to wing the toast. He's like, oh, I don't have a toast prepared. Oh, it's going to be impromptu. And like today in the changing room when they were doing my makeup, and I'm like, Kanu, I don't have a toast. And he's like, baby, it's going to be impromptu. I said, okay, impromptu, okay. He's like, I have an outline. And then he opens his notes and he scrolls 6 times. Like he had 6 whole screens of notes written down for a toast, and he was cheating throughout the last 2 months, telling me that he did not have a toast. So I don't have anything prepared. Yeah, right? Thank you, Papa. But you should have told me before, like 3 years ago when Kanish told you about me. You should have warned me, but you did not. But whatever. Okay. So, it's a little too late. We've taken the 7 vows and the 4 vows and everything that we did this morning, and like we're legally married now. I don't know. It's irreversible almost. Okay, so the first time I met Kanishk, like he said, it was maybe because the location was a little convenient. And a little bit because I was like 28 and I was like, okay, my parents are not really looking for anyone for me. And I'm like, if I really need to find someone, so I have to give this a shot. And I said, okay, this location is convenient. This guy looks decent. All right, let me go meet him. And the first time I met him, I was like, okay, it's one of those 2 things. It's either he's like completely perfect, flawless, or he's a serial killer. And like, I don't know which one it was because he gave me no red flags. So I did what all girls do. I called all my girlfriends and I'm like, I don't see any red flags. And they said, oh, just because you don't see any red flags, don't expect that there are, just because you don't see any red flags, it's okay, like go for it, don't believe. And I did what everyone does, I ignored their advice. And I was like, okay, I kept looking for red flags. It's been 3 years. I'm married to this guy. I still don't see any red flags. So it's not just me. My family met him. My friends met him over the last 3 years. No red flags. If anyone knows anything, please come and tell me. Yeah. Too late. Yeah, but Kanu, thank you for being the person you are. You've loved me. You've accepted me for who I am. You've loved me for who I am, and you encourage me to be more of who I am every single day. I'm trying not to cry. Okay. This is how he earns brownie points. Every single day. Okay, so you encourage me to be more of who I am every single day. It's pretty obvious to all my friends. I think my life was pretty good before, but it's better with you. It's elevated with you. Every experience with you is a lot better than what it would have been without you. I know we've done a lot in the last 3 years, and I want to say that I can't wait to see what we do over the next 70, 80 years of our life, but I really do want to enjoy every single experience with you, just like I did with this wedding. Growing up, I did not imagine a wedding. I didn't think about, oh, this is what my dream wedding is going to be like. But today and this moment right now is better than anything I could have ever imagined. And I think that speaks a lot about the life with you as well. It's better than anything I could have ever imagined about having in my life partners. Thank you for giving that to me. Thank you to our parents as well for accepting this relationship and just supporting us throughout, because it would have been much harder without you guys doing that. And thank you to all our friends for giving us the kind of love you all do. I think it was pretty obvious to everyone. I don't know what we've done. We feel really, really, oh my God, the tension is so much. We feel really, really, really privileged to have every one of you all who've been really close and important to us in each phase of our life, celebrating this day with us today. It really means a lot. And yeah, I think this is as much a toast to all of you guys as much as it is to Kanu. So thank you all for this day. All right, let's have an open dance floor because okay. Go ahead.
In the morning when I wake and the sun is coming through, boy, you fill my lungs with sweetness, and you fill my head with you. Shall I write it in a letter? Shall I try to get it down? Boy, you fill my head with pieces of a song I can't get out. Can I be close to you?
All I do is make more. That's how I deal with.
Can I be close to